Shalom, shalom, it's your brother Shamak. I want to first start off by giving all the glory and infinite praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kadash. Double honors to the apostle, elders, great millstone, teacher with window, overseers, tabernacle of David. Shalom to the hopefully lit that's pushing his truth and utmost truth, sincerity across four corners of the earth and giving out the diligence to do so. All right, and I just want to go into, especially by being in, while we're still in the Feast of Tabernacle, I just want to touch on how our temple, is now spiritual, okay? Everything around us is we have nothing. We're not in the state that we were in ancient times, man. Our temple is now spiritual. Everything is now spiritual. All right, so I just want to just quickly go into, and this is a depiction of Solomon's temple. To set it up, man. We are the tabernacle of David. David set it up for Solomon, who is, if you can receive it, Yahweh Shai. He did the dirty work. In the scripture it mentions David, bloody hands. He went to war with many nations, man. Okay. He set it up for Solomon, man. Solomon was peaceful. He had the wisdom. He had the riches. Okay, because in 1 Kings chapter 3, Solomon, he could have asked for a long life. He could have asked for a lot of women. He could have asked for riches, but what he asked for, what did Solomon ask for? Wisdom. So Yahweh Shem Shai, the Heavenly Father and the Son, the merciful power, gave it to him all, man. And this is a depiction of what Solomon had, man. He was a ruler. He was a king, All right, but I just want to lead that into, oh yeah, that was it. I want to go to Hebrews chapter 8, okay? Because our temple is now spiritual because we transgressed the law. We turn our back on Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so that's what makes things now that much more spiritual. All right. That's like Hebrews chapter 8, verse 7. Okay. It says, "For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second." So if we didn't, transgress the first time, it wouldn't be no need for, Yahweh Shai to be the redeemer or to bring forth that grace, give us that grace period, man. Cause back then, a lot of us, those in the know, those individuals in the know, claim to want the law, man. Hey, certain laws you transgress, man, you're getting put to death. So do you truly want the law? Are you truly ready for the law at the end of the day? Okay. But hey, of course we rehearse the righteous acts to the best of our ability. All right. So this is verse 8. It says, "For finding fault with them, he said, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah." Okay. And we're going to be in that new covenant, man. Those promises, that's part of those promises, part of the kingdom. This is a rejoiceful time with the Feast of Tabernacle. All right. Let's get the temple. Let's get that etymology real quick. Okay. All right. It says, and this is part of proving the point that our temple is now spiritual. Because what it speak about in Acts chapter 7 verse 48, the Most High dwell not with the building built with hands. Roughly paraphrasing. Okay. So the etymology of the word temple on the online, okay, it says, and this is Old English tempel, and from the Latin templum. Or it says building for worship, edifice dedicated to the service of a dignity or deities. See, so what's our service? It could be your own, your own spiritual setting. With 2 or 3 brothers in the midst, Yahweh Shai's in the midst of you. Especially on the highways and byways. Okay, we're not in a building. It's more spiritual now. We're at the altar. We don't have the vows where the Levites were. We're all king and priest, and I'm gonna prove that through the scriptures. We're all kings and priests now. Because in ancient times, only the Levites, dealt with the law, man. Okay, well they gave the law. They was in charge. That was their lot. That was their duty. That was their occupation. But now, through the grace of Yahweh Shai, ultimately, of course, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, the Most High, above Yahweh Shai in the order. Okay, hey, we're all kings and priests now. All right, but this is it says building for worship, and how do we? And what's building up of soul, man? That's edifying through edification. That's what the word edification means. And how do we do that, man? Through our videos, through our works, man. Okay, which is produced through the faith. Okay, it says, let me go see what some more on this says. Place reserved or cut out. See, and this truth is reserved for the elect. You know, this thing is not a game. This is the spiritual temple. All right. It says cleared, measured space in front of an altar. Compared to him, it says the notion being perhaps a stretch. It says sacred area around the temple. All right, so yeah, man, it's sacred. When you're around brothers, man, that's a separate vibration. That's a separate energy. Okay, it's very spiritual. You know, very spiritual. Without even doing a video, without teaching, you know, it's very spiritual. That's the temple, man. We dwelling in the temple, okay, which is now spiritual. All right, so let me go back to in the old, okay, and get Exodus chapter 35. All right, Exodus chapter 35, verse 4. It reads, and Moses spake unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, saying, this is the thing which the Lord commanded, saying, take ye from among you an offering unto the Lord. Whosoever is of a willing heart, let him bring it an offering of the Lord, gold and silver and brass. See, those offerings, our offerings now, of course, we still tithe. You know, we still tithe. You give your offering. You can still bring offerings, you know. But it's much more spirit. That's spiritual now. That's why you see we still had a Day of Atonement, of course, you know, which has always been spiritual, you know. But we rehearsing righteous acts, you know. We willingly. We do this willingly, man. All right. Cause back then they had more offerings back then. They had the animal sacrifices, which is now through Yahweh Shai, we don't have to do that no more. That's part of that being. That's the part of my point proving that our temple is now spiritual. You know, much more spiritual. Okay, it was always spiritual. Don't get my words misconstrued. All right, so let me go down some in the chapter going to the tabernacle. You know, I'm gonna get the etymology of the word tabernacle because we are in the Feast of Tabernacles. Get Exodus chapter 35. I'm gonna go back to Salakia. All right, I'm gonna start at verse 10. It says, and every wise hearted among you shall come and make all that the Lord have commanded. The tabernacle, his tent, his covering, his thatches, his boards, his bars, his pillars, and his sockets. The ark. Okay, the ark, that's from the Ark of the Covenant, man. It says the staffs thereof with the mercy seat and the veil of the covering. See, in these things, man, some of these things, the Levites only had permission to partake in, only had access to, you know. But now we're all kings and priests. All right. I continue to read. It says the table and his staves and all his vessels and the showbread, the candlestick also for the light and his furniture and his lamps with the oil for the light. See, now we're anointed, man. You know, we rehearse those righteous acts. We'll have some oil that maybe a brother in the camp made, you know, to anoint ourselves. Okay, but truly that oil is through the scriptures. Once you read, I want to say Matthew chapter 25, we got to keep that oil in our lamps. And how do we do that? Through studying, do our diligence, you know, us being active in maintaining the spirit. Okay, verse 15. It says, in the incense altar and his staffs, in the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and the hanging for the door at the entering in of the tabernacle. Let's get that word tabernacle. That's why I mainly wanted to get that word tabernacle, because we are on the Feast of Tabernacles. It's lucky. Damn. Let me get it real quick. All right, so you got mashka or mashk. All right, so it says dwelling place. So yeah, we're in our dwelling place through the spirit. We're in our dwelling place. We're dwelling in the spirit. Okay, it says a residence. It says the lair of animals, figuratively the grave. It says habitation, tent, dwelling. Let's see what else it says. Trying to see what else it has on here. Well, yeah, basically, I was just referring to, man, our dwelling places now is just maintaining the spirit. You know, we're dwelling. Okay. It's also it's another. I want to get the other definition of tabernacle because it goes into basically being in unity. You know, bringing together. Okay, and that's what we basically do because that is the tabernacle. That's why it says the scripture speak about keeping our foot when you come to the house of the Lord. And when do you come to the house of the Lord now? Is when you meet the brothers, man. On the when you meet the brothers out there on the highways and byways on the streets. That's the temple right there. But people, people really not spiritual enough to understand that. Okay. And I want to get Ezra as well. Okay, because they was building in this time. But what? The heathen tried to partake in as well. But this thing is not for the outside nations. This is the bloodline. This is what people love to get misconstrued. This thing is just strictly for Israelites, Black, Spanish, Native Americans by the seed of the Father. And the Spirit bear witness, the Spirit bears witness, no matter how you look. All right. This is Ezra chapter 4, verse 1. Now when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of captivity builded the temple unto the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua of Israel, then they came to Zerubbabel into the chief of the fathers and said unto them, let us build with you, for we seek your power, as ye do, and we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Ashur-Haddon, king of Ashur, which brought us up hither. Okay, so you see, look at the heathen. They like, man, because they gonna understand that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is only dealing with us, so they gonna try to cleave unto us, man. But it don't work like that. The heathens profane. They're outside the temple. Okay, they're not meant to come into this thing. Basically, that's what I'm going into. The heathen is not meant for this thing. It's not meant to have these. Not meant to even touch our book. Not even meant to teach out of our book. Not meant to follow our traditions and laws. You know, the high holy days. You know, and we're in one right now. Okay, that's why it hit my spirit to just bring out edification, exhortation. Regarding the temple being spiritual. All right, verse 3 it says, but Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, ye have nothing to do with us to build a house unto our power. That is heavy as hell. It says, but we ourselves together will build unto the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, have commanded us. Hey, and that just shows you how strong the spirit can move, how the Lord can use the heathen to help out the Israelites, to be a helpmeet, to get the job done, because it's all to perform his will at the end of the day. But you see this account where the Israelites, man, and I'm gonna put it also in the book of Second Ezra as well, with this account. Okay, because it's heavy as hell. All right. But the heathen, you clearly see that the heathen, try to attach themselves to, our sacrifices, our laws, basically to our power, when it's only for us, man. That's why we cherish this thing even more. That's why we're able to rejoice, because at the end, we're going to reap the promises, we're going to reap the benefits, because what we maintain and remain in the spirit, we remain in the temple, we remain in the order, that's just to say the least. That's to say the least, man. This thing is deeper than what people perceive it as on the outside. Okay, especially the heathen. The heathen they can't even understand, man. They can't fathom what we understand. Okay, and what we seek and what we desire. Okay, but they will. But let me also get that point I mentioned earlier about us being kings and priests. That's just proving even more and further that our temple is now spiritual. All right, this is Revelation chapter 1, verse 5. It says, and it's all through Yahushua. This is why. This is why you even have a chance at salvation, just have a chance at deliverance. All right. This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 5. And from Yahushua Mashiach, who is a faithful witness and the first begotten of the dead, and unto the prince of the kings of the earth, unto him that loved us and washed us from our sins in his own blood. He died for us. Simple as that. For us to have repentance. Once you read Acts chapter 5, verse 30 and 31. Okay. It says, verse 6, and he hath made us kings and priests unto the Most High and his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. All right. So for him, man, hey, now we all have access to certain obligations in the spirit. We all have access, man. All right. Not just the Levites anymore, because it was their duty, you know, in the ancient times. All right, but we're all made kings and priests thanks to Yahweh Shah. And then it further proves that our temple is even more spiritual. All right, verse 7. But just even more in Yahweh Shah we must read verse 7. It says, behold, he cometh with the clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so among. Hey, Yahweh Shah is coming back. It even shows you that reincarnation is in the scriptures. Because all those that were there, persecuting him, hey, they're going to witness him coming back. This is his movie, baby. You know what I'm saying? This is his movie. He going to set it up just right for you. You know it is. And don't even underestimate our power. All right? We can't underestimate our power, man. I'm going to end it off with First Ezra, though, that with the time of Cyrus. I want to end it off, continuing on with the temple. All right, in the time of the Persians and the Medes. All right, so I just started First Ezra chapter 2, verse 1. Just for more furtherance of explaining my point with the temple being spiritual now. All right. It says, in the first year of Cyrus, king of the Persians, that the word of the Lord might be accomplished, and that he promised by the mouth of Jeremiah. The Lord raised up the spirit of Cyrus, the king of the Persians, and he made proclamation through all his kingdom, and also by writing. So Cyrus, he was in the spirit. The Lord put the spirit on Cyrus, man. Hey, man, leave these Israelites alone. Let them do them. Let them build the temple of the Most High. Let them serve their power. Verse 3, saying, thus saith Cyrus, king of the Persians, the Lord of Israel, the Most High Lord, have made me king of the whole world. He understood that the Lord put him in that position, man. Come on. And commanded me to build him a house of Jerusalem and Jewry. If therefore there be any of you that are of his people, let the Lord, even his Lord, be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem that is in Judea, and build the house of the Lord of Israel. For he is the Lord that dwelleth in Jerusalem, man. It says, whosoever then dwell in the places about, let them help him. Those, I say, that are his neighbors with gold and with silver. Hey, that's beautiful right there. That is beautiful. All right, let me see if there's more I wanted to get on that. Yeah, that was really the point. I was wanting to hit that account too, just the precept with Esdras, because hey, the Lord, he's a powerful power, man. A great power to put the spirit on the heathen. That just shows you the heathen in the day of Jacob's trouble or whatever day can be used by the Lord to help you. You are the prince of the power. He gonna make sure you good, man. He gonna figure out a way for you. You just gotta believe it. It just takes us believing it. It starts with our thoughts, because our temple is now more spiritual. You light your incense, your prayers are going up to the ears of the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahweh, taken by the angels. All right, and this thing with our temple being more spiritual, that we got to move more careful as well. It's much more easier to go off. We are in Babylon the Great. Come on now. All right. But I think that's all I had to bring out through the spirit regarding the temple being spiritual, and just wanted to touch on it, especially while being in the midst of the Feast of Tabernacles coming to an end. I want to say tomorrow sundown. All right. But Lord willing, that was edifying and exhorting for the spirit. Okay, especially for the elect men, hopefully elect out there. Okay, sincere brothers. All right, but it's your brother Shamak, and I want to end up by giving all the glory and praises unto Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, teachable, well, and overseers, Tabernacle of David. Peace, love, and safety to the hopefully elect and their families. And with that, I would like to say Shalom.